Want to know one big hack that all the big schools use on the base path? I'm going to tell you, but first we're going to talk about an aggressive leadoff. A great leadoff doesn't mean that you're 20 feet off the base. All that does is open up a chance for you to get picked off. So what is a good leadoff? It starts with your jump off the base. I'm going to share with you 3 leadoff techniques, 2 goals that you should have every time you lead off, and 1 huge hack that all the big schools use. For technique number 1, start with your left foot on the base, your right foot behind the base. Then you want to start low. As the pitcher's arm gets up to be 12 o'clock, or as her foot comes up off the rubber, what we're gonna do is we're gonna step with this right foot. This gives us a little bit of extra momentum. That way, as she comes down to release point, we're off that base. So it looks like this. Technique number 2, you're gonna take 3 steps off the base and you want your shoulders pointing towards the next base. If the catcher misses it, or your batter gets a hit, you should be able to just continue your stride into the next base. For technique number 3, as you're finishing your leadoff, your shoulders should be pointed towards your next base, 5 steps off for second base, 3 steps off for first base. If your batter doesn't hit the ball and your catcher doesn't miss the ball, you're gonna spin around and you're gonna go back into the base with your right arm out, headed towards the outside of the base. If the catcher makes a throw, you're gonna dive back every time. Otherwise, you look like this. You feel stupid, and it is stupid. So just dive back every time and you won't get out. So there's 2 goals that you should have when you're leading off. Number 1, you should be so intimidating that they are covering the base in front of you and the base behind you. If they're not covering their bases, make sure you take advantage. Goal number 2, we want the other team to feel like we're stealing every pitch and maybe even sometimes call it out. We've all had those embarrassing moments where we call out a steal and nobody's actually going. What this does is this gives you an extra second to get there because it takes them a minute longer to recognize if you're going or not going. It also creates a distraction in the field so that the pitcher and the fielders are more concerned with you as a runner than what's going on at the plate. And now for that 1 huge hack, when you're on the base path, pick their changeup signal. You as a base runner can see all the catcher's signals, so pick that changeup signal. That gives you a few opportunities. Number 1, you can steal on that changeup and it gives you a little bit longer to get to that base. The second thing that it does is you can come up with a way to relay it back to the batter and set them up for a big hit. Another key point about this hack is be sneaky about it. You don't want them to change that signal right away. You want to go ahead and take advantage of what you know. And yes, Florida State, ASU, Oklahoma, all the big schools use this hack. I know because I played them. There's some tips and tricks that you can use with your leadoff. Remember, if they're not calling the steal sign, you're not being aggressive enough. Thanks for watching.